And good Friday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is 6:30 already again. Boy, that 24-hour clock moves, doesn't it? Currently it's 63. We've dropped a couple of degrees in the last 30 minutes or so. Been easing down. We'll get to a high of 85. It's going to be quite cooler today than it has been over the past. I'm looking forward to that. I want some fall-like weather. How about you? It'll feel good for a change, or at least that's what we would like to have, isn't it? Lots to do today, as we'll have the entire gang back together today. Someone is not in New Orleans, Odie.
Oh.
Can you believe it?
She's flying in now.
She's flying in now, so y'all be ready for a loud noise in a few minutes. She'll make her way. Diane, good morning from Tennessee. So good to see you. Mark is joining us. John is up as well. Even Becky. And Miss Ann Hall, so good to see y'all. We're going to do our devotional today as we head out to Collinsville to the First Baptist Church. They've had a lot going on out there. Let's go out and get our good word of the day.
Just a glimmer of hope. Sometimes that's all we need, because a single spark becomes absolutely brilliant when surrounded by darkness. And that's exactly what was going on in the Garden of Eden. You see, utter spiritual darkness had fallen on Adam and Eve. They had sinned against God by eating the forbidden fruit. Yeah, the devil had tempted them, but they gave in and they ate. And now the darkness of sin had fallen on them. Their innocence was lost. Their guilt and shame had sprung up. Their desire to be in the presence of God had waned. And now, like a loving father always does, it was time to discipline. And whom did God begin with? Well, the one who had started it, the devil, in the form of a serpent. Genesis 3:14 and 15. And Yahweh God said to the serpent, because you've done this, cursed are you more than any of the cattle, and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you'll go, and dust you will eat all the days of your life. And I'll put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise you on the head, and you shall bruise him on the heel. Now, snakes were cursed along with the actual snake, the devil. But did you see that glimmer of hope found in the midst of God's words? You see, God said that the serpent would bruise the heel of Adam's seed, but Eve's seed would crush the serpent's head. See, there's that spark of gospel hope. Ultimately, it's telling us about Jesus. He's Eve's seed who would be targeted by Satan, but actually prevail. You see, every other one of Eve's seed would fail, including you and me, but not Jesus. The devil would bruise his heel, but Jesus would crush his head. And we've seen that victory come to pass in this life through the death and resurrection of Jesus. And now you and I can have victory over the devil as well if we simply trust Jesus as Savior and Lord. His victory becomes our victory. Beloved, remember, no matter how dark it gets, there's always victory in Jesus. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Hope you enjoyed that message this morning. Before we get into some headlines, I thought we should show you where some the fog is this morning as we begin this day. We'll show you right there. Philadelphia, showing a lot of fog this morning there, stretching over into Kemper County, a little bit there in Winston, and also in that lower southwest corner of Noxubee County. So be careful in those areas if you're traveling 21, 19, any of those areas. It could be dangerous this morning. A little bit around Jackson. As we go to Bama, we got a little bit showing up there around Auburn, and also right here around Skinnerton, Alabama, west of Troy, some of that. Gadsden has a lot. Huntsville as well, so be careful in those areas. We do show that we got a lot of rain here down around Tallahassee, Apalachicola, Florida. Y'all are going to get wet today. Most likely Pensacola as well. So some areas to be concerned with. No rain in our forecast today whatsoever. Should be a perfect weekend for all the events that we've got coming up. The Lean On Me Jubilee, also Clark County Chamber of Commerce will be hosting Clark Fest, and probably a few other things that I haven't remembered at the moment. So be ready for all of that. As we move into headlines that are shaping America, did you realize that the Coast Guard has seized 5 tons of narcotics that was worth $64 million? There's a drug dealer this morning that is not happy with what happened. $64 million, that's a lot of cash. I'm not sure if this will pass, but it's probably a good thing. The FBI is being urged to add a new domestic terror category. You tell me if you agree with this or not. Transgender ideology inspired by violence. We've had 3 or 4 of these. Should the FBI do it? Again, they're being urged. Doesn't mean it will happen. It means it's under consideration. But do you think there is time for another one? We'll see there. Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, you hear that all the time. Let me show you this. They posted this to their, this is in Tennessee here. Hartsville is where it is. And they're going to take down this tower. Have you ever watched one of these before? Look at this as it gets ready to go. That is something else to watch as this implodes and comes down. It is very cool. As how do you take down a building right where it stands? Not here's the overall outside view of that. Look at that. Is that not something else to see? And it's gone forever. That was from TVA there in Tennessee. Found it interesting. Thought you might want to see that as well. Do you remember? And I'll touch on this because this is I guess you would call a medical story. Do you ever watch Men in Tights when Mel Brooks was, well, picking on everybody? And where they had just started doing circumcisions. Do you remember that? And they were showing the little unique way to do that. And it was funny the way they picked on it. But believe that or not, for the first time in about 70 years, babies are not being done as much, down to 49% being done.
We got a wreck coming in.
Okay, a wreck coming in. Where do we have it?
PSD and 493.
PSD, that's going to be right there across from Walgreens and all of that at the corner, correct?
Yeah, somewhere right around in there. 3 cars.
3 cars.
Looks like a pretty bad accident.
That's PSD in North Hills, correct?
Yeah, somewhere right around in there.
All right, so that would make sense there at that intersection.
Yeah.
So be careful in that. We might want to check on all of our people to make sure everybody's good there. Wow. So be careful. North Hills area around PSD. That is what we're hearing, that there is a wreck there. Could be some serious going on with it there. Let's see if we can get... some information on that coming in. As soon as we get an update on that, we will let you know here in the next few moments there. Other things that are happening across the world, this is ridiculous, in my opinion. Number one, a 14-year-old should not be subject to this. You're too young. But as we often see, broken families, and there becomes a new father figure in the picture. Going to Mexico is not the best solution for medical care either. Let me go ahead and do this. But a 14-year-old girl was given, and there's no other way to word this other than a boob job at 14. Her mother's new boyfriend gifted her this. They went to Mexico. She is now deceased. Don't go to these places. Her father is having a fit. They had more or less told him a fib, and he found out at the funeral exactly what happened. That's awful. TMZ reporting on that this morning. Your health is much more cheaper. And why does a 14-year-old need that? You're not even developed at that point, I don't think. About 45 they are, aren't they, Odie?
Oh, yeah.
Kamala, she's getting heckled on her book tour as she goes about. There's a group that seems to be following her. And they heckle at each event that she speaks at. What is it, 107 Days is the name of the book? We lived it. We don't have to read about it. I'm not sure about this because the end result of this is you could end up with Hillary on a coin. There are those that are trying to pass getting Charlie Kirk, which I have no problem with Charlie being on a coin. But what does it lead to later? Who else will be put up on a coin? It may or may not happen. It's been proposed. We'll see what begins and ends on all that. Again, I love Charlie to death, but what will happen later?
It's right there by Last Chance Tobacco.
Last Chance Tobacco. So this would be at, Old Poplar Springs.
Poplar Springs
Highway
Drive.
493, Old Poplar Springs Drive there. I'm not sure, and the only way around that would be is to take that right, if that's not blocking it, and come back around the store to go down 493 if the roadway is blocked. Do we know if the roadway is
Probably
blocked?
at the intersection. Let's see, I'm in a text, so let me find
I see a lot of wrecks there. So Highway 493, Old Poplar Springs Drive, Last Chance Tobacco is where that is. And if that doesn't ring a bell, it's the old Olin Mills location from umpteen dozen years ago.
Ooh, well, you going back in time, ain't you?
Yeah, I have to make it where everybody can understand everything. You know why I know that? Because my mama forced me to go in there. I'll never forget having to take those pictures. Remember it like it was yesterday. James Comey says, I'm innocent. Says he ain't done anything. What do you say?
That ain't what the grand jury said.
Grand jury is indicted. Now, doesn't mean that you're convicted yet, but they have indicted, and we will see where that turns up. As a matter of fact, more information coming out on this. His son has resigned. His son-in-law, rather, has resigned his position as assistant U.S. attorney after his indictment. My, oh my, oh my. Let's see here what else I find out about that. I found this interesting note dealing with all this. It says James Comey should be prosecuted and charged for what he did to General Flynn. Y'all remember that? Where they raided his house in the middle of the night, had the news cameras on scene. That was uncalled for. What about Adam Schiff? He's been lying. There's a lot going on there. He could, and again, all of this is, you remember these words, he could, doesn't mean that he is, could face 20 years in jail and a $250,000 fine. Now, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, all these numbers that I've been seeing, $250,000 is nothing in Washington anymore. You can go in dead broke as a congressman and make $100,000 a year, and just a few short years later be a millionaire. Several million. That's a word on the street. We thought we'd go ahead and tell you if you didn't know. We may have to seek this. We're finally... Do y'all remember the January 6th episode? It was pushed, and it was pushed. And they made it look as though normal people were doing bad things. You know what the number is now that we're finding out? 275 FBI plainclothes were in that crowd. Not to mention, we don't know how many people that were put there by these, I don't know what you call it, these groups that are funded to cause havoc. Most people that I saw was just kind of walking around. It was provoked, it was set up, and they were let in. 275 FBI agents. If they were there, why didn't they do the arrest as soon as it broke out? How did 275 men could stop anybody from entering a building, could they not? That's my 2 cents, but we do know of a number of what they're admitting to at this point. The Department of Justice is looking at whether or not it's going to prepare to probe some of these George Soros foundations. I mean, let's face it. People don't just show up to protest something and a load of bricks has been sitting there 3 to 4 days, or it winds up there. Somebody's paying for all of this. Let's see what else we've got going on this morning. Oregon. Well, you don't hear a lot about that state, do you? I'm a logger. That's mostly what I hear about that. But they accidentally this week released a murder suspect. He's been taken back into custody, but he was easy to find. He had a pitchfork tattooed right here on his forehead in between his eyes. If you're going to be a career criminal, tattoos normally aren't the way to go. You are identifiable. Just putting it out there. Odie, put a memo out on that.
Put a memo.
I've never understood why one police agency cannot talk to another agency. Does that make sense? You're all on the same team. As we go to New York, we've got some police agencies jumping up and down because a New York City officer shared some information with ICE. They're having a fit. You're on the same team. That's Team America. or at least it is in my book. Where was that not long ago? And maybe it was in Louisiana maybe a year or so ago, where the guy, no, it was Super Bowl, where the guy went into the casino and the woman, he was a reporter, you remember that? And they drugged him and ended up killing him. New York is where we go with a similar story. A woman has been indicted for allegedly drugging and killing 3 men, lured them in. I'll let you guess how she lured them. That's the way it happened. 911 has been restored in Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, all the 3 states that had their problems yesterday. Tate Reeves all over the news across everywhere, letting us know what happened there. Some fiber lines were damaged. They're back up. Now, we're being told that it was nothing more to it than some damage. We all believe everything we're told, right? Let's see what else we've got. Oh, we've got some kidnappers that have been arrested. They held a family at gunpoint for 9 hours for their crypto. 9 hours. They're going to jail for a long time. 2 brothers there. I was looking at more details on that, and I don't know enough about that yet of what's going on in Dallas. We haven't gotten a lot more on that. Do y'all remember the Oklahoma state senator, state superintendent who ordered schools to teach the Bible? He has resigned because he feels like he can do more leading an anti-teacher union group. Good luck to him. He's trying to bring the Bible back to school. We hope it works out. Starbucks is cutting 900 jobs, and they're going to close some of these underperforming stores. And again, it will be in the upper echelon there as they cut back to try to make demands and meet payroll. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is not going to be a shock to anybody. Vicki, good morning. Good to see you there as well. Christy says her son came through where the wreck was at Last Chance. Said it doesn't look terribly bad. That's good. That's good news. Again, this is not going to be a shock to most anyone, but streaming, and what I mean by that is sitting on your couch and paying for a movie, has surpassed movie theaters. No one is shocked. The same thing is happening with regular television. The way you get your news, the way you watch any TV show you like. You don't have to depend upon others. You have the control in your home to watch and see what you want. America is changing. Technology is changing. Have you? Let's see what else we got here. Trump demands, and he's demanding on this one, he's pretty hot there, an investigation into the escalator triple sabotage is the way he's wording it. Despite UN trying to give an explanation, he goes, there's more to it, and I want a investigation. I'm sure there is more to it than that. Microsoft, boy, oh boy, has cut off Israel military units' access to cloud service. They claimed that they were using it to spy upon others instead of using it for what it was intended for. It looks as though the TikTok deal is going to go forward. Trump has signed a piece of paper, and it looks like it's going to be American-owned before long. He signed the paperwork on that, so that's moving forward. There's a lot of people hooked to it. It works. Always something good to watch on there. Let's see. Remember the fugitive dad that killed his 3 children? They have confirmed that the bones that they found is his. He won't be messing with anybody else anytime soon. They're calling this the Taylor Swift tax. I don't agree with it. Rhode Island senator is proposing it. Let's say that you're fortunate enough. I don't have more than one home. But let's just say that you are fortunate enough to where you can have a vacation home, to where you go to the beach or wherever. A Rhode Island senator is trying to pass a tax that anything valued over a certain dollar amount, you would be charged more taxes because it's not your main home. That's just not right. It's not the American dream. You should be able to... This tax thing is way out of hand, isn't it? What do they do to you if you have rental property in those places? It's just, it's not right. We'll be right back. We're going to get into your weather forecast next here at the Scotty Ray Report.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Heblon Heating and Air Conditioning to save the day. We can keep you comfortable with special savings for your home, like up to $3,000 off new HVAC, $69. Keep the power on with a generator. Get $200 off installs and 0% financing for 60 months. We do it all at Heblon Heating and Air Conditioning and offer financing options for any repair or installation. Call for a free quote or visit us online at HeblonHeatingandCooling.com.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
Welcome back. Let's get into our forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
As we go to look at our record highs and lows, it was back in 16. Boy, that was a big year. They were warm today, 99. Back in 01, some 24 years ago, it was 44 on this date. As we look at today's high across Mississippi, this is what we're expecting there, 85 in Columbus. We'll see that in Meridian, too. But Philadelphia coming in a little bit cooler there at around 82. We should see about 83 to 84 there in Louisville as we go south into the Laurel area, 85. And we'll even see 87 in Lucedale, 85 down in Gulfport. That's an outlook of what we're looking at across the state of Mississippi. As we go east into Bama, Demopolis sees 85. Birmingham, tad cooler at 83. Hamilton, that's not bad, at 80. Due south where that rain is going to come across, looks to be 82 there. As we see this, we got warmer temperatures out to our west. Northern Texas, kind of warm there, and the further north you go, the hotter it is. As we look at our 7-day forecast, now this 85 weather I can deal with. We like that over the weekend. It's pretty good stuff there. We start to warm back up Sunday afternoon into Monday to Tuesday before we drop back to the 85-degree weather. Somewhere along Wednesday, slight chances of rain on those days, not big. Look at this. Next Friday, a week from today, we're going to be sitting at 81. One of the coolest temperatures we've seen in a while. Mostly sunny, not bad at all. Nothing really getting over a 20% chance of rain, with high about 86 each day there is what we're looking at. As we look at our fishing forecast for today, the wind's going to be northwest wind 5 to 10, brought to you by our friends out at Clarkdale Superette. They're taking care of you there. Major times to fish today will be around 3:30 this afternoon till 5:30. Minor time will be this morning between 11 and noon. Good luck with that. Sunrise happened at 6:45. Sunset rolls in at 6:54. Now, we've got three systems that we're looking at. We'll look at live radar here in just a second. 90% chance of this storm developing, and it most likely will head towards South Carolina, North Carolina coastline. We'll look at that in a second there. Humberto is going along this morning at a Cat 1. Wind speed of 75, gust of 75. Not stirring up a lot of trouble there, but slow northwest at 3 miles an hour with 900 millibars, 990 rather. As we look at Gabrielle, Gabrielle is down to a tropical storm now. 63 mile an hour winds, gust of 75, moving east-northeast at 29 miles an hour is what we're looking at on that. Now let's go back to live radar and take a look at these storms as we go to the radar system and look at our spaghetti models. Let me turn this back on to where we can look at this closely. As we pull up radar, let's go over here and look at this. And most likely, Charleston looks to be the place it would love to come in here. Charleston, anywhere along here from Savannah up to Georgetown is what we're looking at this point. Let's back out and look at this. And this is roughly on Wednesday is when it would be Tuesday, early Wednesday morning is what we see at this point. Here it is sitting now as it moves across. Now, this is going to reach, this is a Category 1 now. It will reach by Monday a Category 4, but staying away from that coastline on the east. It'll take a hard right turn and go away. Now, almost following this track here of Gabrielle as it moves away, and we hope that it does stay way away from us, don't we? That's what we're banking on, what we hope. Now, we'll keep you updated should this change here. It looks like we'll see some showers and stuff in Georgia as well from this as it goes west. We have been blessed so far this hurricane season. Let's hope it continues that way. We'll be right back as we get ready for the morning show. We're about 2 minutes from going back live. The gang is here as we get your day underway. Y'all join us, won't you? The Scotty Ray Report begins at 7.